You have to be able to clear the noise. You have to be laser focused on what you're trying to get done. Does it, so, because it's always trying to distract you.
So that is Major General Antony Anderson responding to critics in relation to his newly appointed post as CEO of NaRRA. Look, on paper, his resume is impressive. Chief of Defense Staff, Commissioner of Police, National Security Advisor, Ambassador. The man has led nearly every major security institution in Jamaica. His professional credentials are difficult to dispute. But this debate isn't really about his qualifications. It's a much bigger question. Is Jamaica simply getting the best persons for the job? Or are we just seeing the same small circle of leaderships recycled over and over and over again? Anthony Bertram Anderson was born in London in 1963 and joined the Jamaica Defence Force in 1991. What followed was one of the most distinguished public service careers in modern Jamaica. In 2010, he became Chief of Defense Staff, the highest-ranking military officer in the country. He held that position for 6 years, making him one of the longest-serving military chiefs in Jamaica's modern history. Then, in 2016, came an unusual move. Anderson crossed from the military into civilian government, becoming Jamaica's first ever national security advisor. The role was created to coordinate national security policy and advise both the Prime Minister and the Cabinet. But Anderson wasn't finished changing uniforms. In 2018, he was appointed Commissioner of Police, taking command of Jamaica's constabulary force. A career soldier was now leading Jamaica's police service. He remained in that role until 2024. Then another transition. In 2025, Anderson was appointed to Jamaica's ambassador to the United States. But just after 1 year in Washington, Prime Minister Andrew Holness announced that Anderson would be returning home to become the new CEO of NaRRA.
And the decision was to appoint Major General Antony Anderson, who is now currently ambassador to the United States. Obviously, that will change.
So let's recap. At 62 years old, Anderson left the United States ambassadorship after only 12 months. Before that, he was Commissioner of Police. Before that, National Security Advisor. Before that, Chief of Defense Staff. For more than 3 decades, he moved from one major institution to another, becoming arguably the government's most trusted security technocrat. Prime Minister Andrew Holness insists he had no involvement in the selection process.
So they did quite a bit of work behind the scenes to ensure that the right selection was made. I was only informed of the end result. So just in case anybody thought that I kept a distance for good reason.
But by his own admission, said this.
And as fate would have it, I had tasked him to review the state's response to Hurricane Beryl, which would have included a review of all the entities involved in the response, but specifically a review of ODPEM. So he is already in proximity to these issues.
Meaning Anderson helped review and assess the government response to the previous national disasters. Who better, if you ask me, to oversee a post-disaster recovery and reconstruction than someone who had already studied what went right and what went wrong during the previous emergency response? The opposition's first question to his appointment was straightforward. Did Anderson go through the original recruitment process? Or was he brought in after the process failed to produce a suitable candidate?
There have been questions about whether you applied for this job and went through the process like everyone else, or whether you were handpicked for this position. Can you respond to that?
Well, I applied based on the requirements that was published in the newspaper, I believe it was, and online. And then I was interviewed, probably maybe an hour and 3/4 interview, so it was quite an interesting thing. But of course, it wasn't that problematic for me because it's really talking about things I know.
So Mr. Holness said that 85% applied for the post. That number was narrowed down to 3 applicants from Jamaica and 4 from international applicants.
I can't go into the reasons for the selections. Obviously, they would have compared resumes, experience. But one thing I can say, I have great confidence in Ambassador Anderson. He would obviously have great skills in leading national institutions. He led 2 of the most important institutions in Jamaica, the JDF and the JCF.
So the question I'm really trying to ask is, was this just another political appointee? Wasn't there really and truly anyone else? But people, what are your thoughts? I would love to know. Yeah. Thanks again for watching though. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel if you have not done so as yet. Until next time, stay safe.